All right, we are live once again. It's a Friday afternoon. The rain has not yet started where I live, but it will be very soon raining. So it's going to be it's going to be a total washout of a weekend. So today we are looking at the Fire HD10, and the one that I got it's kind of like the productivity bundle without the productivity bundle. So I got the keyboard that goes with it and this itself. So that is what we're looking at today. And bear with me as I get combobulated here, and we'll start welcoming in everybody in just a minute. So we're going to unbox it and set it up. Now this is the Plus Edition, which has more RAM and wireless charging, but I think it's the same processor in there. So that's what that is. And I'm going to say hello to some folks real quick here. We have Romeric, we've got Connor, Anthony Bianco, all the usuals are popping in. Dava is here. Are you in class again, Dava? Nick Forsopa is here. John is here. Andre is here. Ryan Plumley is here. Hello. Saddam Khalil Tajik is here from Afghanistan. Awesome. Got people from all over the world, and I am happy you're here. So welcome to the channel. TFM Plays is here. MSX Droid is here. You know what's fun is that we're from all over the world, but we share a love of technology. That's what's awesome about what we do here. Trey Kellum is here. DQHPMP is here. Danny310 is here. Another one. Yeah, you know, so it's funny, they stagger the releases on these. So what happens is it's like a 3-year cycle to get through the whole thing. So the way this works is that this one is the fastest. And so the last time they updated this one was like 2 or 3 years ago. So they update the 7, the 8, and then they do the 10. And then they go back to the 7 and go from, you know what I mean? Like they kind of rotate through. So I think that's what happens with that one. So Dava is finished with class for today, or he's in finished class, one or the other. I think he's finished for today. Joe Mack is here. Thank you. I think you're awesome too for watching. Andre is here. Yes, hit that like button if you're on YouTube. And Connor has a Fire 7. Yeah, my kids have a Fire 7. They're good. You know, they're basic transportation, but they work. Center Mass has a Fire 8 Plus tablet. The extra RAM makes a difference depending on what you're doing with it, absolutely. And I reviewed the 8 Plus. I was going through my back room the other day. I still have the 8 Plus back there. I got to get rid of it. So, yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff here. Anthony, I was going to ask about the processor. So it looks like it's a MediaTek octa-core. Same chip, but different RAM, depending on what you're looking at. And actually what I'll do is let me pull up, I'm going to pull up the Amazon developer page and see what it is. Doris is asking, is this a new version on the Amazon chat? Yes, this is the brand new one. So this is the newest tablet that they have. And this one, the 10-inch one, is the largest, obviously, but it's also the most powerful. So these we've seen really good performance out of in the past. And so I'm eager to see how this new one performs versus the old one. And we have some benchmarks that we're going to run on it. And what I'm pulling up right now is the page with all the info on these things. Yeah, here we go. So let me add my NDI input here so I can show you what I'm looking at. And we can get the full specs of the tablet. So bear with me for 1 second. I just want to make sure I've got my Do Not Disturb on here. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so let me pull up this screen. And if we go to full specs, we'll get the full layout. So this is the 2021. This is the 11th generation. That's how many generations there have been of this so far. And so the one we have has 4 gigabytes of RAM. It is a octa-core processor. And actually, I'm going to start making some notes for my documentation about this. The display is still the same, 1920 by 1200, so it's pretty much a 1080p display, but it's 16 by 10, so it's a little more square. So you have a little more height on it. AC, but not Wi-Fi 6. And you can see all of the detail on here. It's based on Android 9. Now remember, these are running Android, but it's got the Amazon overlay, so you don't get the Google apps unless you do a little bit of extra work on it. Here's some of the media specifications. So it does support, well, that's interesting. It doesn't support H.265 at 60, just 30. Actually, it looks like AVC is stuck at 30 also. That's interesting. We'll have to check out some of the video support on there. Here's all the audio codecs. So yeah, good stuff. Widevine L1. So if it has Widevine L1, what does that mean for Netflix? L1. Okay, so Android devices, only L1 secure devices. Let's see what we've got here. Oops, L1 1080p. I just want to see what max resolution we'll get out of that. All right, so L1. Okay, so yeah, so L1 is the HD. But what HD is it? I think you can get 1080p with L1. You guys can tell me. So we'll dig into that also. Okay, L1 means you can do anything. Got it. Perfect. All right, well, that's helpful to know. And let's see here. So Joseph's wondering, what makes this a plus? So what makes this a plus is that it has the extra gig of RAM and wireless charging. And so they have like a wireless charging base for it. So you can kind of use it as an Echo device when it's docked to that. And you don't have to plug it in. You just dock it to the dock. Like you put it on the dock and charge it wirelessly. And this is this year's model. This is the 2021. And Nick is watching us on the 2019 model. So we'll see what we've got there. Dava's got no school until Tuesday, as does Connor. Yep, my kids are out right now. Actually, their school ends right now, and then they come home for the weekend, and we have Memorial Day on Monday. Does Amazon block the Google Play Store on these tablets? They do not, but you have to kind of hack it on, or shoehorn it on, I should say. George is fixing bent CPU pins. So we'll have to see what we get. I don't know if this supports the Lineage OS. I doubt that unless you do that. So we'll have to see. Okay, so let me get this opened up. And then we're going to have a full review of this on the main channel at Lon.TV. And my box got a little squished. They put it in an envelope and then mailed it. So I'm hoping the screen is not broken when I take it out of the box. Otherwise, this is going to be a real short stream. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so this is the tablet. It feels exactly like the other ones have felt. It is your standard kind of average build quality, right? These things are built for the lowest, at the lowest cost. But they're not cheap, but it's not going to have that metallic iPad kind of feel. The webcam is centered on this, which means they're probably going to encourage you to have your calls in landscape mode. And we noticed that on the 8 also, if I'm not mistaken. And now we're going to boot it up. And then while it's booting, let's see what we get for, so we have a charger. This is a 9-watt charger. So it's a little more than your standard USB voltage. USB Type-C. So that's a new feature, right? The other one did not have USB-C. So we should probably check and see if we can output video over HDMI on this. All right. So let me keep all this stuff together. All right. And by the way, I bought this with my own funds. So this is not a freebie from Amazon. I buy these whenever they come out because I know that the viewers like you are all interested in it. So that is one reason for it. And this is the Amazon Fire HD10 Plus 2021. And I'm just going to keep some notes on this as I go so that we can get the review ready to shoot. I'm not going to shoot the review today, which is why today's stream is going to be a little more unstructured. But I just want to get all of the specifications down on here. R. Miller wants to know, did I get the version with ads? Yes. Yep, this is the one that has ads on it, so you'll see how that works. I have found that the ads have not been all that intrusive. So if you're comfortable with ads, and not everybody is, but if you're comfortable with ads, I think it's worth paying a little less, if you get what I mean. Like, it's not worth paying a little bit more. All right, I'm just making some more notes here, just so I can get everything started, and we will set this up. And I got to connect to my Wi-Fi, and once I do that, I will show you what happens next. And I'm probably going to have to log into my Amazon account also. And I'm sure there will be a firmware update. Hi, Lon. Oh, okay, so it did have me in there. So you got to bear with me here because I have to go track down my Amazon password. I use a password manager, and as those of you who use password managers know, your passwords get really complicated. And thank you, R. Miller, for the reminder about my Amazon password. So I have done that before by accident, had my password display, and then I had to change my password. Now, I also use two-factor authentication, so I'm going to get challenged by the tablet on that as well. So I'm just going to type in my password real quick here. And it's going to take me a while to type it in because it's like a crazy complex password. And my eyes are failing me now because I'm old. And I can't see my screen. And I haven't gotten glasses because I'm too stubborn to go to the eye doctor and get a checkup. So I think what I'm going to do as the year progresses here is kind of do the health overhaul. You know, get the physical done. I'm probably at that age where you got to get the colonoscopy and all the other stuff. So I'm going to be getting a lot of poking and prodding done here. All right, so now it's asking me for my two-factor authentication here. So I'm just going to type that in. And that is... All right. Okay. So now we should be logging in. So R. Miller says, ooh, enjoy that. And I think I know what you're referring to. You know what's funny, though? I was talking to some friends this morning about it. I was at a little thing at the school today and got to catch up with a bunch of people I hadn't seen in a while. And they were talking about that this morning. And what they said was it was actually pleasant because they got to sleep for an hour. And I don't know about you, but I got small kids, and like you never sleep that well anymore once you're... All right, so let's go ahead and meet our Fire tablet.
From watching movies
okay, here we go. This is our intro video.
There are lots of ways to enjoy your new Fire tablet.
Show us. Show me the ways.
Try asking Alexa to play music or movies, make calls, check the news or your commute, and more. Just say Alexa to get your tablet's attention. Alexa, what's the weather?
Currently, in Olympia, you'll see lots of clouds with a high 49 degrees and a low of 39 degrees.
And find what you want to watch.
It's like a minute
Alexa,
and 49
show
seconds
me
here.
action movies.
Here's what I found.
Hopefully this is not setting off your A words out there. Sorry if it is.
With Show Mode, Alexa provides visual responses you can see from across the room. Now your tablet is even easier to use.
I got to make a
while you're
note of
doing
that
other
too.
things. To get started, just plug your tablet in and say, Alexa, switch to Show Mode.
Oh, that's neat.
Ask Alexa to start a timer or find a recipe. Alexa, show me a recipe for banana muffins.
Okay, for banana
So this is going to keep Jake busy editing because we have to mute out every A word request.
Next.
Make hands-free video calls to friends and family. Alexa, call Mom.
Calling Mom.
If you
All
have
right.
an Amazon Prime membership,
I
you
do.
get unlimited access to thousands of movies and
Awesome.
TV shows,
Yes.
over 2 million songs, and even select books, comics, and magazines that you can borrow at no additional cost. And with For You, a page of curated content personalized to your tastes, it's easy to discover new things. Enjoy your new Fire tablet.
I will. All right. Are you excited, everybody? I'm excited. Sorry about that, Thomas Yanfang. We just set off everything. I thought they had like some code that they injected into this thing, but we'll have to see. Massachusetts says that his experience with these is that they tend to slow down after a while. I've seen that a little bit on some of the older ones, partly because they update the OS and there's more running in the background. I have found, though, that this model, the 10-inch one, happens to be the fastest. So I think the degradation on this one will not be as extreme. All right, I have to set a pin on here because of my children. So let me just take the kids off of this, and I'll just leave them off for now. Actually, no, I'm going to leave the kids on because I want to be able to demo that. So I will put a pin on it real quick, and we'll just do a simple one here. All right, there we go. Get more out of your tablet with Goodreads. Find more books you'll love. It's a free service. Okay. I'm not going to do that. Let's go. Not now. You would think your Amazon thing would carry over to that. And then they want you to do Kindle Unlimited, but you have to pay extra for that beyond your Prime thing, and I don't read enough to justify that. So we'll skip that. And then we can add books that are already included in our Prime membership. Well, let's do a little Goodnight Moon here. What else we got? Got some Harry Potter. The new is that the new book? Randomizer? Oh, it's a series. Is that a series? Or stories? It's a short story. Okay, we'll add that one. And I can add some TV to my watch list. Hey, you can never get enough Star Trek The Next Generation in there. And then, yeah, put a little Galaxy Quest. There we go. Okay, so we'll click Continue. And get apps for free. So I think I want to put on this one, and let's see, where did it go? I just had it a second ago. This one, I want 3D marks. We want to do a benchmark on it. So we got Minecraft. These are ones that I have already in my library that I purchased. And I guess we'll probably want to demo Zoom because people are doing that these days, right? Moonlight game streaming we'll want to do. Click Continue here.
Hello. Alexa is on your tablet.
Okay, and then we're getting reminded that we can do this stuff, right? And we'll enable that.
Try it now.
All right, listen.
Alexa, what's the weather?
Mute your speakers, because I have to say the word, okay? Alexa, how's the weather?
Right now in Ivory Hill, it's 64 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies.
Okay.
Today's forecast has clouds and showers with a high of 67 degrees and a low of 45 degrees.
All right, so we understand that. Okay, continue, finish. Okay, so here we are. We're on the home screen. Now, I'm guessing that the apps are still installing because I'm going to want to do the 3D mark benchmark on here. And I want to probably run that first after everything gets installed. And the reason is that I've measured the performance of every Amazon Fire tablet over the last 7 or 8 years. So we can do a quick benchmark and see how that functions. Although I think the version that gets installed on here is the older one. But we'll have to see. But we have to wait for the download here to finish. So it's downloading. It's got 4 more to do here. So we'll let those background tasks kind of complete. And we'll see what happens here. It's asking for some permissions. And then the other thing that I got with this, so I bought like this bundle that included this detachable keyboard. And I'm guessing that this is the keyboard that you would get with the productivity bundle if you went in that direction. So it's made specifically for the Fire HD10. Now this is a and it's a wireless keyboard. So if you detach it, it will still work. And let's see, where's this one made? It is made in China. Okay, so it's actually got a decent hinge on it, but it feels a lot like your standard, cheap accessory keyboard, so don't expect much out of it. The keys don't feel bad though, actually. It's got a good, it actually has a more solid feel than I expected. But it's going to be Bluetooth, and so what you do is you put your tablet in the thing here, and you get that. Okay. Let's turn it back on here. And by the way, this is where you'll see the ads. So most of the time when you're on here, you're going to see the ad when you unlock the device. And let's see if we're done downloading yet. Okay, I think we're done. So let's go to 3D Mark first. So I want to run that benchmark. And Martin's noting that a lot of his stuff has slowed down over the years as well. And Massachusetts says, that's why I use the wake word as computer. I typically do that also, actually. I change the wake word to computer. I might actually do that when we go into the other thing. All right, so let's go over to the Slingshot. Now it's telling me here that it's not compatible, which means that we're going to have to go out and grab the APK, which I think I have already. Let me see if I have it up on my server still. No, I got to re-download it. So bear with me for a second here, folks, because I want to install that app. And I'm going to go to apkmirror.com and get the 3D Mark benchmark from there. So let's install that real quick, because for whatever reason, the one on the Amazon store never gets updated. But if you download the APK, then it will work. So we're going to do that real quick. And I just have to toss it to a spot online where I can grab it real quick, and we'll try that out real quick. But so far, it feels pretty zippy. There is a web browser on here. Where did it go? Yeah, I'll put Netflix on here too. We haven't tried that yet, so we'll download Netflix. And you can put up to a terabyte SD card on here. So there's only just the USB-C slot at the bottom, and then you've got your micro SD card slot here. So you can get one of those terabyte cards and then download as much media as you can muster on there. The battery is at about 66% right now. That's how it came. So I think what I might do is start charging it now, just so that when I start doing the rest of the evaluation, I'll have a fully charged up unit. And let me see if I can find a charger. Oh, perfect. So I will just plug it in for now and get the charge going on that. But it does feel pretty quick. I'm actually impressed so far. And remember, even though it's got USB-C, it's not a fast charging USB-C, it's 9 watts. All right, so I'm just going to go toss something into my server here real quick. So bear with me for 1 second here, folks. So I just want to grab that APK file that I just downloaded. All right, so I'm just going to do that, and then we'll be able to. And Roger P says, oh, I have an HD home run device. Yes, we do. In fact, I've done a lot of content on the HD home run. So if you're interested, check it out. Okay. Goes to sleep pretty quickly, doesn't it? And so here you go. Here's like another version of another ad that you'll see. So like you'll get these ads when you boot it up. And the reason why I have a PIN code on it is because I have children that can access the device when I was setting it up, so it's requiring that I do that. Now, you know what I'm not seeing is the web browser, which is what called Silk, right? That's what they call the web browser. Here it is, Silk browser. So you got to go on the home screen. So there we go. And I'm just going to go download my APK file real quick. And we'll install that. So you can sideload Android apps if you have the APK file. Although it says, oops, read world. Sorry, I did the wrong thing here. Right. Okay. Our owner. Okay, try that again. All right, so we're going to give it access to download files. And that's going to download. Okay, so now I'm going to go to 3D Mark here. And we're going to go to Settings, Allow Side Loading. And let's install that sucker. Okay. And that's how you install an Android app. Except this time where it says it doesn't install it. Hang on a second. What's going on here? App not installed. So you know what? Are we having that issue that we had last time with this, which was that it doesn't work with, like, is this running in a 32-bit mode? Let's see. Ah, it's a 32-bit, 64-bit hybrid interface. So what does that mean? So it's running Fire OS 7. Because I remember we ran into this issue before, and I can't remember now. So let me go back and see what I just downloaded. So this was the ARM64 version of 3D Mark that I downloaded. So it may not work with that. Hang on a second here. Yeah, it was universal. So I'd love to get some feedback on this. Yeah, this is based on, oh, okay, that's what it was. We have to uninstall the other version. This is based on Android 9, that's correct. So let's uninstall. And we got another ad here, a different ad than we saw before. So like I said, most of the time the ads you'll see are when you lock or unlock the device. So let's uninstall that. And now we got to go back to our downloads library there. So let's go to Files and Downloads. Let's see if it takes it this time. It's taken, there we go. Perfect. Thank you for the tip. Who gets credit for that? John does. Thank you, John. All right. So we are up to 400 viewers, it looks like, between both platforms. That's good. Yeah, it's funny how these things work, right? This one's doing pretty good. I know that people like tablets on my channel, and I also know that people like affordable tablets, which this one is. So that's why one of these things works well. It does feel pretty zippy, although it just did a weird thing with the screen there, but we won't hold it against them there. All right, so we're going to go and run the slingshot test, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the slingshot regular one is the one that we usually run. So let me check my notes. It's been a while since we've done a Android tablet on the channel, so let me just check my notes about which one to run here. So we usually run Slingshot Unlimited, right, which is the 1080p version. So what we do here is go to Unlimited, and then this is going to run. Now, you're not going to see the benchmark actually do anything. It might run the demo first. We'll see. And then it'll just render on screen, or it kind of renders in the background. So we'll see how it goes. I will say, though, that this feels like it is performing better than I recall the prior one does. Although the demo here feels a little bit sluggish. Roger P is asking about Call of Duty Mobile or League of Legends Wild Rift. Yeah, we'll try Call of Duty on it in a little bit. I don't know if that is on the Amazon App Store, but I'll check. And we'll see where this one comes in. You know what we'll also run on this? We'll run the wildlife test, which I think might be a separate app. I'll have to check and see if it's on the list here. And this is the demo that runs first, and then it will actually run the actual benchmark. And the reason why sometimes you want to run the demo first is to kind of get it warmed up, so you get a good example of how it will, sustain itself on a high performance kind of test. All right, so we're letting that thing do its thing. And we got some more folks. I'm missing a lot of chat here, so I apologize. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Yep, we're good there. Okay. So let's see. So Ed E is here, and I'm sure I missed a few of you popping in. So if I haven't said hello, just say hello. DZ is here. James is asking, does the Fire OS have emulators? Not really, but Android does. So you can either install Google Play, kind of shoehorn it on, or you can sideload emulators and get them working there. You could totally get like RetroArch or something running on it, which is probably the best way to go. And we'll see what we get on a test result here. Dan White says, my hair is epic. My hair is long, and actually, at 5 o'clock, my friend who does haircuts is coming over to cut my hair. So I will be back to my shorter length. Yeah, it's gotten a little thick. It's been over a month, so it's definitely, and I've got like stuff in it, because if I didn't have the stuff in, it would be up about this high right now. So there you go. James Gerber says, I think you can pull off a GBA emulator. Yeah, we'll see how much time we have. Maybe we'll try to put some stuff in there. Gary Lawrence wants us to try the Fortnite APK. And would you like to see this against an M1 iPad Pro? You know what I will do is we'll run the other benchmark and see how it, because I have run the M1, I have run the wildlife benchmark on the M1 MacBook that's in front of me, so we'll get a good idea of that. Recipe Bob is here. He just got the notification now. Interesting. Lon Dog says, I'm a hippie. You know what's funny is when I was, so this is something I'm going to tell you all about. When I was in, I think 7th or 8th grade, my friends started a band. The band was called Zarconia, and they wanted a keyboard player. I had no idea how to play the piano or the keyboard or anything else, but I bought a keyboard and started taking lessons, and I grew my hair out. So I had hair down to my shoulders, and you could like wrap it around. It was cool. I could wrap my hair around my neck. It was like the longest hair I ever had. And then I decided that the rock band thing was not going to work for me. And so I went from that to a flat top, which I had until about a couple of years ago. And Amda Brown thought he was talking about the salt and pepper in my hair. Yeah, I've got a lot more salt than pepper these days. It's starting to get more gray. It's funny, ever since I had kids, I looked at this picture. So my daughter's 8, and so her birthday was about a week ago. And so, like, when you go back on your phone, it shows you the memories. And there was a photo of my daughter and I when she was born, and my hair was all brown. Now it's salt and pepper. But I kind of like it. I'm not like coloring it or anything. It's just this is the natural color. Patrick Chang is here. Hey, Patrick, did you just get the notification? Let me know. Ben Heisler wants to know the processor in this one. So this one has the MT8183. It is a 64-bit chip, octa-core, up to 2 gigahertz is what the specs say. And the one we have has 4 gigabytes of RAM, because this is the Plus edition. So Patrick just got the notification. Isn't it weird how YouTube does this, right? Because we've been streaming for 34 minutes, and it didn't send the notification out until just now. But I do know that the Amazon one went earlier because I got it on my phone when it went off. All right, so I'm going to make another note here on my list of things. And what we want to do we also want to demo the wireless charging on this one. So this is the Plus edition. So what's interesting is the performance we're going to get out of this benchmark is going to be the same on this one as it would on the non-Plus. So we'll see what we get benchmark-wise. And Roger P., I know I got your game request there. We'll see if I can get it going on there. All right, so we'll let that run out here. All right. Okay, almost there on this one, folks, and this will be done in a minute. And then when this benchmark is done, we'll be able to line this up with the prior editions. And let me see some, yes, it looks like everybody's getting the notification now. Amanda Brown says, my 16-year-old niece asked me if I ever had hair. I said I did before I got married 21 years ago. And I guess it's tough because, so I have friends that they were, you know, they had their hair was thinning, and so instead of just dealing with that, they just cut it off and shaved it. But I guess it's like a lot of work to shave your head all the time to keep it, you know, keep it nice and shiny, right? So I don't think I'm going to have that problem, but I think you look great, Amanda Brown. And a friend of mine did that too. Like, well, actually, a couple of my friends, they just gave up on the hair completely. But then they got to, you know, like they got to shave it constantly. All right, so we're almost there. This is like the last test that runs on it. Roger P. says you can get a keyboard with it. Yep, we have it right here. In fact, we will test it out in a little bit. It's just a Bluetooth keyboard that docks with it, but it actually feels nicer than I expected. Like, it actually has a good weight to it, but that also adds weight to the package, right? So, Tano says he just got notifications yesterday. All right, here's the results on the test. So we got a score. I'm not sure if you can see this. Now, if you want to watch me fill this in, go to Lon.TV/benchmarks, and then look on the bottom tab for the 3D Mark Slingshot Unlimited test, and that will give us, that'll give you the measurements of every device that I have looked at over the last couple of years. Now, here's something interesting, everybody. I am typing this in right now on my benchmark sheet. I got a lower score than we did versus the 2019 edition. So it's actually coming in pretty much right at the same performance level. So I may go back in. I mean, it's almost exactly the same. So I wonder if this is, let's get that screen back up there again. I wonder if this is running with the same processor. It's going to be really annoying to keep typing that password in. Because the score I got here is pretty much identical. I mean, it's right within the margin of error here. Because every result I just got on here, and if you're logged into the benchmark, you'll see that. It is exactly the same as last year's edition, the 2019 edition. So now that leads me to think, okay, why is that? So let's go back and look at HD10 from 2019. And what processor does it have? And there you go. It's running with the same exact processor. I should have looked at that before I started. Yeah, 8183. Yep, same chip. So same results, same chip. So there's no difference in performance on this one versus the 2019 edition. So what's the difference? The difference is it appears as though this one has more RAM than the prior edition does. And what I'll need to do is investigate what some of the other differences are. It might be that I'm going to turn the lock thing off here, because it's exactly the same specs, just more memory. And I don't think it had USB-C last time, so we'll have to play around with that. Let's see. I'm just going to. I'm looking for my power settings, or I can just turn off the lock screen passcode. Yeah, I'm going to turn that off. Oh, you know what? You can't turn off the passcode if you have child things on there. So we're going to have to go to power. And we'll take a look at some of, I know somebody was asking about like whether or not it feels snappy. We'll jump around a few things there and play around with that. Hang on a second, folks. I'm just trying to find the display settings. Here we go. Turn that off. Auto rotate screen is on. I'm trying to see what make it so it stops turning off the display every time I. Yeah. All right, we'll get back to that later. We'll just keep dealing with it. Okay. So, if you want to see the performance, we will load up the Silk browser here, and I will go visit nasa.gov. And we'll see how that performs. So, not bad, right? Now, by the way, I don't think you can get the YouTube app on here yet. I don't think that's available, because I know it's available on the Fire TV. It feels pretty good. Yeah, this is the web version of YouTube, but you know, it's got a pretty good snappiness to it. But performance-wise, it's the same as the prior edition, same processor. But what we haven't run, and I don't know if I have to download a separate app for this, we have not run. I didn't put it on the thing there, did it? Oops, show more. My movie apps. Let's see. Yeah, it's funny. It's not showing me the 3D Mark. Ah, there it is. So let's see if here's wildlife. Okay, so let's go to wildlife. And oh, this test requires Android 10 or higher, so we can't run wildlife on here because this is Android 9. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to be able to do that. Well, there you go. All right, so let's see what we can find for games on here. So let's go to the App Store. But now we have a good baseline, because basically the performance we saw 2 years ago is the same as today. And Justin says that it will work on this no problem. All right, cool. Let's take a look and see if we can find it. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the App Store, though. Let's see, Call of Duty Mobile. Because remember, this is not running with not running the Android store. This is Call of Striker Zone. That's not the same thing. Call of Mobile. Is that it? Call of Striker Zone Mobile Duty Free? No, that can't be right. Yeah, this is all fake stuff. Call of Modern Army. Call of U.S. Army. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, I got to jump back here and see. Wow, I'm missing so many. Yeah, and by the way, we're going to be making a full review. This is like the first couple of minutes that I'm playing with it. And I'm DeBrown. I'm sorry, I missed your chat before, but 6 to 7 minutes. Oh, that's not too bad, I guess, to keep it up. All right, let's see here. Kaylee says, yep, it is definitely the same as the 2019, which is funny because I've seen them like consistently updating this model every time there's a new version. The generational jumps have a faster processor. This one does not. Redacted is here. All right, let's see. Looking for an upgrade to Tab S3. Hope I helped. Yeah, so yeah, these are definitely not going to beat out an iPad, but they're also a lot less expensive. So I think this one, so this one's a little more expensive because this is the Plus edition. This one sells for $220, but this one starts at about $150. And then, you know, another good one is the 8-inch one, which is smaller, because this is the 10-inch. The 8-inch one performs pretty well and is less expensive. I think sometimes you can get in for, I think, around $100 on that one. So if you want an inexpensive tablet, you know, the Amazon ones are not a bad choice because they're from Amazon, so they're not, you know, you're going to have some support behind it. Let's see if we can get Fortnite on here. So I think they're only APK-able right now, right? So let's go to Fortnite. Let's see if it'll let us download it. Download. Get the Epic Games app. Interesting. See, this is what they wanted to do against Apple, right? So let's open up that APK and install it. So this is like a whole different game library that we're going to install. And this is what Epic wants to do on Apple. They want you to be able to download their app store and install whatever on it. So it looks like right now there's two choices. There's Fortnite and Battle Breakers. What's that? Well, let's get Fortnite on there. Device not supported. Why is that? Technical information. Fortnite requires an internet connection, Android 8 or higher, 64-bit, which we have, and 4 gigabytes of RAM. This should be working with it. I wonder if I can grab the APK and try to force it on. Because it's running Android 9, so that shouldn't be a limitation. All right. So Rodrigo says, the only thing keeping me from... Yeah, so the App Store is a problem here. And you can get around it because you can put on the Google Play Store and get that going. But we'll have to see what else we can do here. All right. But you can put Google Play on, but it requires a bit of work to get it on there. All right, hang on, I'm just going through the rest of the chats here. So now the other thing I want to try here is that we do have the HDMI output on there. I'm sorry, the USB-C output. And I'm curious if we can get it to output to an external display. So let's try that real quick and see if that's possible. And then I also have another little doodad I'm going to hook up to it too to see if we can get an Ethernet adapter plugged in. So what I'm going to do here, let me just turn this thing on real quick. I am going to grab this HDMI cable here. Oops, it's Roku hooked up there still. All right. And we're going to run this thing through here. And if anyone in the chat has a tip on the best way to install Google Play Store on here, I'm all ears. Maybe we'll try that real quick before we close out. Because apparently we're running into some trouble getting things to work on this thing. All right, so I've just plugged in an HDMI adapter, and I'm curious if this does support HDMI output. We're going to find out. So let's see. I doubt it, but you never know. Yeah, so far I'm not getting a signal out of it. So I don't think it supports that, but you never know. Yeah, it doesn't look like that works. And there's no HDMI output on this. So if it's going to work, it's going to work through the USB-C port. But it doesn't appear to do anything. Let's flip it over just in case. Yeah, nada. I'm just looking on my video system here to see if it takes in the video signal. So it does not appear as though you get any kind of video output. You could stream it, but that's it. So nothing there. But let's try out some Ethernet and see if that works. So where did my Ethernet cable go? Oh, it's on top of something here. Hang on a second. Let's grab the Ethernet real quick, and we'll give that a shot. Yeah, we're striking out on a lot of stuff here, which is kind of par for the course. You know, if it's on the Amazon store, you'll find it. Otherwise, you got to do a little bit more work to get the Google Play Store installed, and I haven't done that in a while on one of these, so we'll have to investigate that. All right, so we're going to plug in this Ethernet adapter, and let's see if it gets on my network. So I'm going to just jump over to the internet portion here. So it looks like it's not detecting the Ethernet that I just attached to it. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's getting anything. And this is not lighting up either. So we are striking out, folks. Okay. What else do you all want to see? Amazon Fire Toolbox on XDA, according to Kaylee. So let's try that real quick. I'm probably going to have to get my Windows laptop out for that. We'll see. Amazon Fire Toolbox. So let's do a quick search for that. Yep, Windows. Okay, so I'll grab my little Windows laptop. All-in-one toolbox for Fire tablets. Awesome. So that's going to solve a lot of problems for us. And this will work with the brand new one. Oh, cool. Okay, so let's see. How to get started? Download the toolbox. And then I guess we just plug it in with the USB cable, right? All right, so let me go grab my other Windows laptop real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. This might warrant its own video, right? So let me grab my little Windows laptop here. So this is my, by the way, this has been one of my favorite little laptops. I covered this when we did the video the other day about the laptops that I use. This is my Surface Laptop Go. I bought this a couple of months ago. What I like about it is that it's super lightweight. It's like 2 pounds, if that. Really nice. It's less expensive than you think it might be. You know, it's pricey for, you know, for the category that it's in, but it actually is a really nice, lightweight 12-inch laptop, and it performs better than you'd think because it's powered by a regular Windows 10 or i5 processor. So it's actually fairly well balanced performance-wise. So let me repeat that Google search we just did. And Kaylee is saying the Fire Toolbox on XDA. And we'll grab that real quick. So this is what she's pointing me at, which I think is the right one. And we'll go and download version 17.0. And we'll give this a go. I still have some battery life on this thing too. And it looks like what we have to do here Toolbox aims to turn a stock Android tablet into whatever the user wants it to be to enhance the Android experience. The project aims to help users who are less tech savvy. All right, this might be a fun thing to cover, maybe as a separate video too. I knew about this. I just never, you know, it was one of those things that's been on the list and I never got around to it, and I probably should have done this earlier, but what are you going to do? Okay, so that is installed. And let's install that and see what happens. And of course, we have that protection error there. I trust in you, Kaylee. So we're going to install this real quick. Edom Live says it's a good-looking Ultrabook. You know what's really cool about this thing is that it's under $1,000 price-wise. I think this one is like 700-ish. What's interesting about it is that even though it is a Microsoft Surface device, it can run Ubuntu. Like, it just boots it right up. There's no like hacky stuff you got to do. By the way, it's got a touch screen. Isn't that nice? So you could just pull Windows off of it and just run Ubuntu on it. What you won't do on it, though, you're not going to be able to run. Okay, and as a result, no theme is currently set. Okay, that's fine. There's a couple different themes. We'll do the teal one. Okay, Fire Toolbox, all-in-one toolbox. This looks pretty handy. Okay, so now it's saying that, okay, so there we go, no devices. Okay, plug in a Fire tablet. Okay, so we're going to plug in a Fire tablet. And I'll zoom in on the screen here a little bit so you can see what is happening. So let's take a look at that real quick. And we'll get Google Play on here. Now, this is not a recommended course of action. This is not an official Amazon thing that we're doing here. But it might add some functionality that you might find of use. Okay, so now we're going to just wait it out here and see what happens. Okay, so plug in a Fire tablet. No update was found. We appears to be the latest version. Okay, so I think I may have to do some additional mode here. Item says, dude, turn on developer mode in the USB. Okay, so we have to go into developer mode first to get this thing functional. So that is what we're going to do. Let's go into settings. Developer options. And let's see. No, developer options. I'm just looking for the right spot here. I'm not seeing keyboard date and time. I'm guessing by connected device. Let's see. Probably would help if I read the instructions too as to how to get started. So let me look at that real quick. So download the toolbox at this point. Okay, so let's look at the, okay, settings, device options, about Fire tablet. Tap on the serial. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so we're going to go to, I know a lot of you are watching, just do this. I'm sure. That's why I do these things live. You never know what's going to happen. All right, so we're going to go to settings, about, the device options, about Fire tablet. So where is that? Contact us, device options, about Fire tablet. And then we're going to click on the serial number a couple of times. And one step away from being a developer. So now we are a developer. Okay, then we'll plug it in. So I think I'll re-plug it in and see what happens. Please plug in a Fire tablet. So I did do that. Let's see. Developer options. Ah, developer. Turn that on. Okay. And then, okay, so now we are toggled on, and that should do it. So let's try this one more time. And I think that should do it this time. We're going to stay awake now. We have to enable some kind of ADB mode here too. That's probably what we need to do. USB debugging. Let's see. USB debugging and enable it. Okay, so let's enable that. Okay. And now we're good. There we go. Okay, so now And I'm sure you are all pulling your hair out, like, why doesn't he find this stuff? I like to find it like myself sometimes just to see if I can get it working. Okay, so now, have you used the Fire Toolbox before? No, I am a new user. All right, so it's going to be like a general tour of the settings here. And what I'm going to do, yeah, all right. So why don't we do the Google services here first? So what this is going to do is it's going to go out and install all of the Google apps. And it's downloading. All the Play services. Let's let that go. And isn't that nice to just change the wallpaper to something very seasonal? All right, so let that run. It's just downloading everything right now, so we'll let that do its thing. And hopefully we should see some Google stuff start showing up here. And XDA is an awesome community, as Edom says here. Definitely. All right. Julie Zahn wants to know, can you watch Amazon live streams on the tablet? I'm pretty sure you can. Let's go into the Shop Amazon. And let's take a look if we can find Amazon Live in here. So let me just poke around in here and see if I can find the live. Amazon Live, here we go. Yep, here we are. In fact, right now, you can watch me. Here I am. It's kind of small. I wonder if I can tilt it around this way. There it goes. So it's going full screen now. So you, yep. A little bit of a delay there, right? That's pretty cool. So that is working. And you can click on the chat here. I'll turn the volume down. Hang on. Oops. Oh, that was the brightness. Sorry, everybody. I guess I could just use the volume rocker. But yeah. So you can watch Amazon Live right here. Watch more. Who else is on? Well, there's a lot of people on right now. PS5 in stock? Really? So these are all the live ones. Then you can see some of the past recorded ones here. So that's how that works. So hopefully that helps, Julie Zan. I like to watch Amazon Live. I like to make Amazon Live too. I make it and watch it. All right, so now it is still downloading Play services. So I'm not sure if I have to do something else here, but it kind of looks like it's almost like stuck here. I'm assuming it's probably downloading, so we'll let that sit there for a minute. Ryan Plumley says that Among Us, yeah, you know, I have Among Us. I bought it on Steam, so I have it there. I probably should just grab it on Epic also for the heck of it. Jared wants to know, have I ever been locked out of my account because of two-factor two-step? I haven't, but you have to kind of take the steps to make sure that you have all of your backup codes safely put away somewhere, because you can run into trouble with that. That can happen. So it looks like we're kind of frozen here on this install Google services. I'm assuming it's just taking some time. But you would think it would download quicker than it has here. So let's see what happens here. Oops. That's Minecraft. We'll test that later. Yeah, I may just try this again. Let's close out of this. And looks like you still have over-the-air updates enabled on your tablet. It's recommended you disable over-the-air updates to ensure all the changes you make with the toolbox aren't reversed. Okay, so I'll get to that in a minute. Why don't we do this again? I'm just going to leave it here on the home screen. There it goes. Now it's going. So now it's moving a lot quicker. And now it's installing everything over the USB. Yeah, it just got frozen up there for a second. So we should start seeing Google Apps appearing on the tablet here in a second. So we'll see what happens. This is pretty quick. Thank you all for the suggestion on that. Yeah, so I did not get a PS5, but I did buy an Xbox Series X. And I'm a Game Pass subscriber. I think I told you all I got a really good deal on Game Pass, so I'm very happy with Game Pass. Look at that. We got Google services on here now. Boom. How about that? Wait, before you sign in, it is recommended that you give the Play Store at least 10 minutes before signing on. Waiting will ensure the Play Store has enough time to fully update to the latest version. Okay, so we'll let that kind of percolate in the background there. So we'll close out to the main menu here. Whoa. All right, we'll let that sit there for a second. I just heard a really weird noise outside. I don't know if it was just a car backfiring. I'm just going to check my my camera video here. Oh, you know what? It was the mail truck hitting the end of my driveway. He must have been going really fast. All right. And someone's asking what laptop it is. Yeah, this is the Microsoft Surface Laptop Go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add this to the live stream here, so you can see it on Amazon. Surface Laptop Go. So if you're on Amazon, you'll see this listed on the product listing. So the one I have, I think, is $699. I didn't get like the top end. I got like the middle of the road one, and I found it to be a pretty good device. Okay. All right. So we're going to let that kind of finish up there. And then what I want to see is where my Google apps are. So I guess I have to go into the Play Store and download all of those. And I'm going to probably sign into my test account just to be safe. So you'll see this kind of working like your typical Google login. So I'm going to log into my test Google account. And I'll probably get RetroArch on here too for when we do the rest of this stuff. All right, bear with me, folks. Just waiting for the thing to finish doing its thing. All right, so now we've got Google Play. Now, can I download YouTube? I can. So now we can get like the real YouTube on here. Well, that was pretty easy with that tool. So I probably should do a video about setting that up. I'm sure that it's been done a million times, but it's good to have my own thing that I can say, hey, here's how you do it. So now we can also, because I know there was a request for Call of Duty Mobile, let's go grab that real quick. There it is. We'll install that sucker. And Fortnite's not going to be on here, right, because of the whole App Store thing. Oops, I typed Fortnite in wrong. Yeah, so we're going to let that install because I think we're doing the download here. So Call of Duty Mobile is a pretty big game. Kaylee says it does add, I would agree, absolutely, it does add a lot of value to this stuff. Now, Kaylee, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're in Japan, right? So I have a cousin who lives in Tokyo, and I was on a family Zoom call about a month or two ago, and I said, if you ever, and he's like a big video game player like I am, and if you're not in Japan, I'm totally sorry for confusing where you are. I was on the phone with him and I said, hey, have you ever been to Super Potato? And he loves video games. never been to Super Potato before. So I sent him off on a mission because Japan had a version of the old 3DO console that had a switch on it to give a better video output for modern HDMI capture devices. Long story, but he found it. So I have the 3DO that I've been looking for a long time. So we're going to have a live stream on that one, booting it up pretty soon, maybe over the weekend. We'll see what's going on with the kids. Okay. Now, Edom mentions that when you install, yeah, I would imagine it does, right? Because you're running the Amazon services and the Google stuff side by side. I could see that kind of slowing it down. All right, so let's go out to the main menu here. I think Call of Duty is done being installed here. Let's see. No, we're still grabbing it, but YouTube works. And now we're on like the official Google app. Wow, they are really pushing this premium thing, huh? So we can watch. Oh, it's got to play an ad first. All right, let's get out of there because I'm going to get dinged for watching my own ads. Okay. Yeah, seems to work. I mean, it's a decent tablet. So it's going to run stuff the way a decent low-cost tablet will run, right? And you got the 4 gigs of RAM. I wonder, to Edom's point, if this one may actually do a little better than the prior edition, running Amazon and Google services side by side. And the reason why I'm wondering that is because this has 4 gigs of RAM, so it's got more memory to play with, right? Versus what we had on the prior edition. And right now it's just still downloading the rest of the stuff there. So I got about another 20 minutes or so. And actually the reason why I don't I don't watch my own ads is because that's actually against the terms of service to watch ads on your own content, believe it or not. So I don't want to mess with that. I had a friend of mine lose his channel over that. All right, so we're going to let that finish downloading. Yeah, and here's my problem with all these things. I know people are talking about YouTube Advanced and everything else, but here's the deal, and you all can hate me. I earn a living off of YouTube revenue sharing, whether it be ads or premium. So I would not want to point you in that direction because it impacts my ability to earn a living. All right, so we're just waiting for this thing to finish up here. So Kaylee is up either late or early, depending on whether or not she slept last night, right? So she lives in Osaka. It's 5 a.m. Loves Super Potato and super expensive. Yeah, I think that's what I've heard about it. And actually, the one that he got over there at Super Potato, he got for less than what I would have been paying for Yahoo auctions or one of those import things. So I think I did okay. It turned out, I think, with the currency conversion, it was about $70. And the best I was seeing on auction sites was like 140 or so US. So I think he did okay on that one. But yeah, a lot of the other stuff can be pretty pricey there. So she's up late. You're gonna be dragging. The sun's coming up over there. Are people out and about in Japan, or are they still locked down? We are like going nuts here because everybody's vaccinated and like everyone's out. It's like all at once, just opened up. All right. Yeah, we're not gonna be recommending this one to other people for sure. No offense. Hey, look, I think people, it's a quality of life issue as far as how YouTube goes because if they start, it's a balancing act, right? So if YouTube puts too many ads on content, people watch less. That hurts also, right? So I think there is a balance to be struck. Absolutely. I think from the YouTube perspective, See, for a long time, they put ads on everything, right? So before Adpocalypse, everybody got ads. And what was interesting was that as my channel was growing, I was getting more and more viewers, more and more subscribers. That was on the upswing, but the revenue was on the downswing because there was so much inventory that they never found any scarcity of inventory. And then when Adpocalypse happened, it flipped. So for me, I actually benefited from Adpocalypse because my content is wholesome. You don't see me swear. The only thing I drink on this channel is coffee and Pellegrinos. That's on purpose. And also because I don't drink anything besides coffee and Pellegrinos anyhow. But I don't swear. You know what I mean? Like, so that was kind of it was the reverse for me on that, which was interesting to see that happen. So what's happening now is that they have more scarcity, less inventory, because they're much more careful about where they place ads now. And so what happens is they place more ads on the channels that are safe and less ads or no ads on the ones that they're not sure about, right? So I think that's the dynamic at play. Roger P. wants to know, do I drink beer or wine? No, I don't drink anything besides coffee and Pellegrinos. That is it. Occasionally, I have a little Coca-Cola at McDonald's, but I stopped even drinking soda because it was empty calories for me. So that's why I dropped all the beverages. TB says you drink a what? It's sparkling water. The Pellegrino is sparkling water. It's a fancy sparkling water from Italy. But it tastes good. It has a good taste to it. It's a mineral water. Okay. It looks like Call of Duty Mobile should be on my tablet now, although I don't see it. Unless it's in alphabetical order here. Let's see. I'm probably going to have to reset this before I do the main video because it's definitely, it does feel a little more sluggish perhaps with those other things running in the background. But I don't see Call of Duty Mobile running here. Let me take a look here and see where it ended up. It did download it. Let me go into the Play Store and just kind of execute it from there. That might be how we find it. Yeah, so I think you're going to, as it's been noted, I think you will take a performance hit. Bill Cody says, how do you survive without Diet Mountain Dew? You know, I've never had it, so that's probably how I can get away with it. I've never had Diet Mountain Dew. And you know what's funny? I tried diet sodas, but I could never, like I just love the taste of sugar too much, and I just could never get into that NutraSweet, or whatever they call it now, stuff. But that's what I ended up with. Redacted says no water. I do water. Yeah, I'll drink water, but mostly like what I drink the most is the sparkling water. Just because I really loved soda, and I still do. But I just stopped drinking the soda because of the calories. So the sparkling water kind of gets me halfway there because it is bubbly and fizzy. So I always like the fizzy water. Chris Allegretta, hello. Thank you for the super chat. And he did not get a notification. We've been trying to keep tabs on how people are getting notified this evening or this afternoon. And why do I not see? Let's go and see if I can get it open this way. Here we go. So it's weird. It didn't put itself on the main menu, but I have an option to play it here. So let's see what happens. We have to give it storage and app permissions. So we'll say allow. Allow. And we'll see how this runs. Edom says that in Android 12, a tablet will have a taskbar just like Chrome OS. That's pretty cool. I got a feeling they're going to, like Chrome OS is going to be, like Android and Chrome OS are going to have some kind of merger that will eventually become one. I am, who was I talking to? Asus has some new, a new 2-in-1 Chromebook that's coming out soon. Lamont Wayne, thank you for the follow. He's been digging the zero sugar sodas lately, loves the background. You know what's funny about the background? People either love it or hate it. And it is almost completely based on age. So I think the younger techies, like like some of you watching who love old retro tech, love the background. But I get every week, I'll at least get 2 or 3 people writing comments like, you need to change your background, it's too old. So I think the background works because it's attracting an older, like the 30s and 40s and up. Like when people see the background, there's always something back there that they had as a kid. And everything back there, this is not like a collection of stuff that I acquired later in life. Most of this stuff behind me are things that were mine and still are mine, obviously. So like that Sega Genesis back there, that is, where is it? I'm just trying to get my hand position. That Sega Genesis. That one is like the release week Sega Genesis here in the US. I bought it at my Toys R Us. All right, I'm just going to play as a guest. And you know what I'll do is I'll capture this so I have some footage for later. And name cannot be empty. What should I call myself? Maximum 14 characters. Create character. I'm just going to do this will, this, those. Oh, okay, I got a bit of space bar here. This, those, whose. I'm making up a name here. Yeah, whatever, whose. Let's just go with that. Okay. Nickname already in use. What's today? Today is 5/29. I don't even know what day it is. Okay. There we go. We just want to see if this runs. So yes, everything back there. And I've got more stuff. So I have more stuff than what's behind me. Like I got a whole basement full of it. Like you would not believe what kind of stuff I've got. But yeah, we've got the old Atari games over there. We've got 32X, all sorts of stuff. All right, give me 1 second. I keep getting calls here. I'm not sure who this is. All right, just give me a second here, folks. Okay. I've had like 3 calls today about my auto mortgage nonsense. All right. Well, it seems to run pretty good. Pick up the assault rifle. Okay, tap to pick up. There we go. So let me get a little recording. Actually, I think I'll get through this demo thing here, and then we'll go into the actual... This is like the smart... You know, it's funny to see how they all like experiment with different gameplay modes. And bear with me here. I'm just going to set up some B-roll. A B-roll folder. Amazon Fire HD10. Yeah, so I guess the big upgrade with this new version... Oh, it just turned off. The big upgrade with this new version is the RAM. That's the big upgrade. What happened? There we go. Okay, tap to reload. And then I'm just going to get this thing positioned in a way that we can actually demo it. I got to hit this to zoom. Okay, there we go. There we go. And we'll move to target. Settings. Advanced mode. Settings. Okay, so see, they're giving you some choices here. Okay, so... I like advanced mode, so we'll confirm that. Move to next target. Oh, I see. So if you hold down the button on that bullet thing there, then it does that. Okay, we'll pick up the sniper rifle, and we'll go. Yeah, it runs fine. Now, granted, you know, like what happens with these things is that, you know, they target a specific kind of device, and on the Android side, most Android devices are probably below the performance profile of this one, believe it or not, unless you've got like some fancy whatever, right? Looks like I used my missile there. Okay, victory. Okay. I think I might just do the other angle here. It might be a little bit easier to shoot. All right, so I received. Okay, so they're just, see, this is all about trying to get you to pay money. That's what they want you to do with this game. Okay, continue, load out, and this is where like they start pitching you, right? You can pay and get this stuff. Okay, do that. Quick equip. Okay, whatever. Let's just get to a spot where I can play the game real quick. All right, tap multiplayer. All right, start. All right. Just gonna wait for this to start up here, then we'll be able to continue onward. And Sheets has said that Call of Duty Mobile is extremely optimized. Yeah, I think they spent a lot of, and you know, there's a real ROI on optimizing these games, right? Because you're getting tremendous revenue potential with these things, like Fortnite in particular. Look how much money they made with Fortnite and continue to. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. I've never liked these touchscreen controls, to be honest with you. And I think it's harder on a larger screen also. I'm just going to toss some grenades over here. Get enough. Yeah. I'm pretty good at this game. Huh? Are these all like fake players? Is that what this is? That's one of my guys. Here's a bad guy. There we go. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I got about a minute of B-roll there. That should be enough. And we'll go from there. Okay. See, here's the thing. I think what I like about Fortnite, and I'm assuming Call of Duty Mobile has probably followed the same business model. What's nice about Fortnite is that you don't have to pay to have a fun experience because you know, they found enough monetization in just the customization of the character, you know, with creating some rarities around that, which I kind of like that concept. You know, like that's something that I'm comfortable with. I think it's when, you know, you do, I don't know, some of the other stuff, which is a little, you know, where you give certain people who pay an advantage over those who don't. You know, that's the kind of stuff I'm not a big fan of. Because I think if you look at it, especially some of these games like, there was an interview with one of the NBA Jam creators is now making these mobile games. And there's a real psychology to making these mobile games that basically have you plunking in money to keep playing. There's a psychology of, you know, that they kind of tap into to get people hooked and addicted on the game. And it's one thing if you buy the game once and you're done. But you know, some of these games, people pay thousands of dollars over the lifespan of that game. Now, granted, the revenue makes it a perpetual development cycle where it's never done. Like there's never a sequel because the game just keeps changing and getting updated. But you know, I don't know. I just feel like it's tapping into something that is not good. I missed a super chat from David Parker. Thank you very much for your super chat. Love the background items. Please don't change it. Yeah, I will definitely not change it. I have, though, been mixing things around. You never see it, but occasionally I'll move something around or change something. And it's funny, I'll ask the viewers, like, hey, did you see anything different? And people will find it, like they will spot it. Although I guess it's easy to go back to like a prior video and look at it that way. But yeah, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Tomorrow's Fear. When is the Lon yard sale? We always have it going on at Lon.TV/store. I got some more stuff that's got to go up. So that is, we have a really rainy weekend, and this is like a 3-day weekend, although I work, you know, all the time anyhow. So we'll see. Roger P. wants me to get League of Legends Wild Rift. All right, I'll put that on here just for the heck of it. So we'll put that on there. There's one more thing of B-roll that we can run, and we'll install that real quick. Let me go back here. I am missing so much. Frank Dux wants to know how the Starlink is going. It's pretty good. I haven't, you know, I got to set it back up again because, and actually got to check and see if I'm going to hit my 30 days with it. The speeds have increased. I haven't tested it myself, but my friend around the corner who's had his up he's doing better than what we were doing a couple of 2 weeks ago when we first ran it. So I think we're seeing some real improvements. And it's just going to keep getting better. So apparently they have completed now the first shell of their network. So everything that has been launched is up. And then they have to get the polar orbits going, so there's a little bit more to do there. But they're getting into a good spot now where I think you're going to see service open up in a lot of locations. And Chris Allegretta has an agreeable point to mine. Yeah, it's, there's something about what they're tapping into. I mean, it's one thing when you would go to the arcade and you pump quarters. I mean, it was not like you were, it was in your home, right? Beckoning you to keep putting money in it. And like I said, the Fortnite model I'm okay with, but the rest of it, I don't know. Thank you for the super chat from Peter. I'm going to get this wrong. Is it Hajas or Haaz? Let me know how I pronounce that. Because I'm going to have to pronounce your name for the weekly wrap-up now, too, because whenever you do a super chat, we shout out on the wrap-up. But thank you for the super chat. And yeah, I'm hoping to do CES. It looks like, it might happen. I think it is entirely possible that we will have a CES this year. So hopefully we'll have that. And I've got about another 10 or 15 minutes here because the haircut lady's coming to my house. Okay, so hey, Peter Hajas, got it. Hajas, perfect. I'll probably forget by the time we get I'll make a note on my task list here to make sure I get that pronounced correctly. So I hate mispronouncing people's names because people mispronounce my name all the time, the first name and the last name. So let's see, weekly wrap up here. Okay. And we're just waiting for this to finish installing here. And we'll give this a shot. Kaylee's excited for the Nintendo Switch revision. I am too. I liken the Nintendo Switch Pro to like Duke Nukem Forever. We've been hearing about it and never seeing it. Now, hopefully, it might exist. And somebody pointed out the other day that the screenshots of Animal Crossing that Nintendo has been posting to Twitter, they're all 4K. If you download the image, it's 4K. Almost all of them, at least the most recent ones. I don't know if they've changed that, but people have been noticing that their true 4K images going up, not 1080p images. Russell Dye says, HD Home Run not making cable boxes anymore. Yeah, they stopped. So they're still making the over-the-air tuners. This is still installing, everybody. They're still making the over-the-air tuners, but they are not doing the cable card ones. They did do a batch of HD Home Run Primes, so they might still make a few batches of those, which use the cable card, but the FCC no longer requires cable companies to do a cable card. So it's not long for this world. Now so that's what I thought. Jared says that Call of Duty Mobile is monetized to hell and back, but none of those base guns and new maps are right. So a lot of it is you can have a lot of enjoyment without paying. Okay, let's see. And here's a theory about why these aliens aren't talking to us. We don't buy stock Android. That's probably why it's happening. I bet that's it. All right, so this is League of Legends something or other. Although it's not looking good here. I've got a blank screen. Oh, there it goes. Riot Games. Okay. So Grayson says, is the Amazon Fire HD10 Plus a 2020 edition? This is the 2021 version. I don't think the 2019 version, which was the prior one did not have a plus. So this plus thing is a new thing that they're doing. So you get wireless charging, an extra gig of RAM with the plus editions. But otherwise, they're pretty much the same on a performance level. And pro tip, as we discovered, as we were playing with this has the same processor as the 2019 edition. So if you don't mind having a gig less of RAM, or 2 gigs less of RAM, depending on the scenario, this is perhaps something to consider if you can get a good deal on the prior edition. And this is an LCD. Yeah, this is not an OLED. Although I'll tell you what, it's a nice looking screen. And that's the one thing that I've always liked about this edition of the Amazon tablet. This has the nicest screen on the whole line, partly because it's a 1920 by 1200, so you've got an HD class display, but also because it's just a nice display. I mean, it's a really nice display for the price. It looks great. That's what's great about these, is that you get in the door with this. What does this one cost? This one is, let's see, I get the tablet back up here. So the entry level model is $179 for the Plus edition. The non-Plus is $150, but the screen is the same on both. And Grayson likes screens with deep blacks. Yeah, you know what's funny about this? In looking at this, the black level is really good here. I mean, it's not OLED good, but it's surprisingly good for the price point. It's not like a big washed out display. And I think my camera is fairly representing it right now. It does look pretty good. And Lamont in Amazon chat is saying that he's always felt the Fire tablets have had nice displays for the price. Yeah, I would agree with that. Across the line, they're very good. Because even on like the 7-inch, you get a nice IPS tablet there. Looks like our first spammer has arrived on YouTube, everybody. Thank you, Chris Allegretta. The Shock team is here to deal with the moderation. And right now we're downloading about a gigabyte of data, which is coming in only at 5 megabytes per second. So that's why it's going slow. So we'll have to let that finish up here. And then after this runs, I got to run because I got to get my hair cut. And I got to take the dog out. It hasn't started raining yet, so if I can get another walk in before the dog. It's funny because over the last 2 weeks or so, actually over the last month, I would say, because we all started, the vaccinations got to my area like about end of February. So by March, we started having, some on my school boards, we started having some in-person meetings again. So I haven't had to wear anything besides what I used to wear down here, which is like my shirt and a pair of jeans. And I've discovered that all of my clothes that I would wear, my nicer clothes, they all shrunk over the last year. I don't know what happened. I think it's a real problem. You should check your closet, because I bet you your clothes shrunk too. So I've been trying to walk a little bit more in case they actually didn't shrink and I'm the one that's getting more robust. Sultan wants me to comment on the Switch Pro. I'm excited for a Switch Pro. I think it'd be great to see what they can do with 4K. I think they're going to take advantage of some of that, that DLSS technology, that AI upscaling, whatever. But if you think about it, Nintendo's always a generation behind on their hardware, even going back to the 16-bit era, right? So they can afford to kind of be a generation behind, but now they're like a generation and a half behind. All right, let me just unplug it here from the other computer. Okay. So now it's doing its decompression thing, and we'll see how the game runs. And Ryan Squenstrom says, clothes shrunk, LOL. Yeah, they did. Corey says, I got bigger. I don't know about that. We'll have to see. Actually, you know what's funny is that, here's the scary part, is that I do so many videos, right? I have, and there's rarely a week where I have not made a video over the last 6 years. So I have almost a daily record of what I looked like, at least sitting here at this chair, over the last 6 years. So I can see the changes. And you don't notice it when you look at yourself every night editing videos, but you go back and look at it, and it's like, whoa, you know? So yeah, so I'm back to keeping track of the intake. And part of the problem was, so here's what I would say is what happened with the clothes getting smaller, is that we have a lot of great restaurants locally that I wanted to support. So I was ordering, like every night we were ordering in all this great food from all the local restaurants that we wanted to keep in business to help our community, right? And the net result was, so I'm glad like they're getting people in the door there again, so I can support them a little less right now, because yeah, we ate some good stuff, some really good food. And they're all delivering, which was even the worst part, because you just go on the computer and type in what you want and it shows up at the house, right? So Frank Castle wants to know, what is the tablet retail for? Well, it depends which one you get. So we have the 4 gigabyte model here. This is called the Plus Edition. So this one starts at $179. The non-Plus is $149. And the only difference is that the non-Plus has 1 gig less of RAM. So this has 4 gigs of RAM, which for a low-cost tablet under $200, that's pretty good, because you can have more stuff running in the background. That's what makes the difference there. All right, so let's take a little B-roll clip here. Oh, I won without having to do anything. How about that, everybody? All right, so let's click continue. So this is, I don't know what this is. This is, I gotta pick my character here. Hang on a second. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just picked the first one that's there. Right, this has wireless charging also, that's right. Oliver White says calorie counting is, yes, I would absolutely agree with you here. And in fact, so for those of you who haven't been following me all that long, I was once almost 200 pounds. So I dropped about 40 pounds. So I went from 185, 190 to 150. And right now I'm 164. So I want to drop about 10 pounds to get back to 155. And the challenge for me now is that I'm almost 45. So you have like your natural aging issues on top of everything else going on. So it's going to be harder to lose the weight without exercising more. The funny thing though is that I've been exercising actually more since I've been locked up, because I take the dog out a lot more because I'm home more. But it's not enough, so I've got to do some more strenuous exercising. I may do some more like VR exercise stuff, because apparently that's the only way I exercise, if I'm doing VR. Otherwise, I've never had any interest in exercising. All right, so here's this is League of Legends, whatever it is, and it looks like it's running pretty nicely here, and we've got some good B-roll. Yeah, these games I could never get into. I'm not very good at these real-time strategy things. Command & Conquer I like. That's a lot of fun. But I get destroyed on that game. All right, there we go. David Tuttle wants to know, how tall am I? I am about 5'9"-ish, like between 5'9" and 5'10". So ideally, I would like to be 150 or so. But we'll see what goes on there. Yeah. I should do the flow. I still have the Flowbee. I need to do something with it. You know what I'll do? I'll talk to, when Amber comes over to cut my hair in about, I gotta get going here. She's gonna be here in about a half hour. I will ask her if maybe we could do something with the Flowbee. And that way she can operate the Flowbee, or at least supervise the operation of it, so that my hair is not totally destroyed. Corey says, stay away from the McDonald's. Yes. There are things though, so here's the thing about McDonald's. There are things at McDonald's that I think you can get away with, because I like McDonald's. I'm going to admit that. And I go there. I don't do the French fries anymore, which is really hard because I love the French fries. But here's what I get at McDonald's, not all at the same time. For breakfast, Egg McMuffin, 300 calories. Not bad. You get it's a real egg. So that's the one thing about the Egg McMuffin people don't realize. They actually crack the egg and cook it there. It's not like a processed egg thing. So Egg McMuffin, cup of coffee, no hash brown. So about 300 calories plus whatever you put in the coffee. The McDouble. This is like, you have to ask for the McDouble. It's a double cheeseburger, but with one slice of cheese, not two. And I think it's around 300 and change calories. High in protein, a good amount of fiber, believe it or not. It must be in the bun. I don't know. But get that, no fries. That's another thing I do. And then the McChicken, about the same calories as the McDouble. Again, no fries. So that's like, those are the three things that I get at McDonald's, nothing else. Now, back in the old days, I'd get like a supersized quarter pounder, large fries, and a big Coke. You know, I stopped all that because I still wanted to go to McDonald's because I didn't want to I didn't want to like punish myself, right? So I was very cautious, but that was all based on calories. You know, I'm guessing of those choices, the McChicken's probably the worst for me. But the fries are just, I mean, they're so good. And back when I was a kid, they used to remember they used to fry them in like the fat or something? Like it was really good. We have a local restaurant, like a really fancy restaurant, not far from the house. My wife and I go there for all of our special occasions. And they have these French fries that they fry in duck fat. And they're delicious, but oof. It's crazy. So Kaylee's a big fan of the breakfast sandwiches and the McPork. So is that so I guess in Japan you get like the burger with an egg on it, right? Because I've seen that before. But I think in the U.S. we have the McRib, which is an occasional thing based on the pork market. But maybe when I go to whenever I go overseas, I always have. Like I went to in Germany, there was a Burger King right next to the hotel, so I had a couple of I do just a small hamburger there. But I had McDonald's in China, which was pretty good. And Corey says the McDouble has 380 calories. Yeah, so I think for a lunch item, it's not bad. I mean, if you're keeping track of your calories, now let's say this: I'm not going to go to McDonald's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but let's propose that as a solution here. Breakfast, Egg McMuffin, 300 calories, plus your McDouble, 380. So what are you at? 680. So you're about at the halfway mark at lunchtime. You're still good. Now, what happens is when you load on the French fries and the soda, that's what gets you, right? So that's what you got to be careful about. Now, Kaylee says, I'm getting hungry now talking about this. The Tsukimi burger means moon watching. Those are seasonal, but oh so good. So they give you an egg. It's an egg on top of a hamburger. That's what they do there. Aiden says, I feel like the food in South America is much more fresh. It probably is a lot more fresh, for sure. Everyone's saying a fried egg on a burger is amazing. I've never had that before. And Chris Allegretta, in college for lunch, I'd have 8 McDonald's hamburgers. It cost under $5 versus a $3 Big Mac. Yeah, I used to get the 2 hamburger meal. That was like my go-to. It was the double hamburger plus the French fry thing. That's what I would get. I liked Taco Bell was my thing in college. I loved the Taco Bell. All right, so I'm going to have to try this fried egg on a burger thing. Everyone's talking about that. Well, here's what I am planning to do. Once I can travel somewhere, I can travel within the States pretty freely now. But the overseas is still difficult. But I am eager to go to Japan. And my cousin's there, so I have somebody to stay with. So that's definitely something I want to do. I should coordinate that with like Metal Jesus or somebody going over there and do like a whole game hunting trip. I think that'd be kind of cool. All right. Well, I got to run, everybody. My wife is calling me, and Amber is coming to cut my hair in about 20 minutes or so. So let me deal with that, and we're going to have. We'll be back again with the stream. I'm going to have a review of this coming up soon. So cool little device. I think it's good. 4 gigs. Can't beat it. And yeah, look for me this weekend. We'll have some stuff going on this weekend, more than likely. So stay tuned. And you all made me hungry now. So I think my wife was calling me because I think she's at McDonald's right now. So it was a long story. We were trying to get our little one out to do something, and the bribe was McDonald's. So sometimes you got to do it. All right, everybody. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I also want to thank Chris Allegretta, David Parker, and Peter, I got your pronunciation right here, Peter Hages, for your contributions on the Super Chat. And actually, I really appreciate everybody's feedback on the Google Play services, because we can make that part of the discussion and show some of the performance of those games running on here. So that was great. And yeah, we'll have a much more concise review. So this is, when I do these things, this is me first taking it out of the box and experimenting with it. I got to get the keyboard going with it also, which we never got to today. But it's a basic Bluetooth keyboard, so there shouldn't be anything crazy about that. And we'll go from there. And poor Sam Lazar is locked down in Australia. Oh, you know who's locked down in Australia also is, what's her name? The gaming YouTuber who's now working at a game company. What's her name? Oh, man, what is her name? I'm just totally blanking on her name. But she's in Australia right now. She's an Australian citizen and went back to visit family. And they lock you in a hotel room for 2 weeks, and you can't leave. Like, you're locked in there. So it's crazy. Feral Sparky, thank you for the Super Chat. Much appreciated. And Jose, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. So good stuff. All right, I got to run, everybody. But thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back again. Yep, this is it, McDonald's. All right, I'm going to do a McDouble for dinner. That's what I'm having for dinner tonight. See, now you got me going on it. But that's all I'm getting is the McDouble. No fries. Although I might steal one of the kids' fries. Get this, my 5-year-old hates French fries. What's that about? Crazy. All right. But she only gets the little Happy Meal ones, so I write that off. But it does count. Okay. I will catch you all soon, and thank you all for tuning in. Bye-bye.